Welcome back to here for night number 3 of the Knoxville Nationals. We're here under the Brian Clausen Suite Tower. Right next to us is the Hall of Fame and Museum. Big building, and this is the newest big building, which was built a few years ago now. And yeah, beautiful venue. We haven't shown this side yet, but this is just outside of turn number 2. And as you can see just behind us, all of the rigs are just leaving now. It is, what time is it? It is 20 past 12, so pretty late. But yeah, another action-filled night. It is called Hard Knocks. Now, Hard Knocks is a new, well, not a new format, but was introduced a few years ago now, and it's one of the most exciting nights, and you really see a lot of emotion come out of people towards the end because the top 4 lock in. Now, the format, if you don't understand the format, you need to check out our video that we've got on our YouTube channel from last year where we explained the format. It's the exact same format, it's just the prize money's gone up slightly since then. But basically, the top 16 from the qualifying nights on points, they're all locked into the A. The next 10 are locked into Saturday's B, and everyone else raced tonight, which is Friday night. So what we end up having was about 78 cars checked in, and the way the format worked tonight was there's 2 separate flights. There's a flight A and a flight B that come together only for the feature time, so for the A main. So 2 cars qualifying, 2 laps. That's exactly what we've had the previous couple of nights. 3 heats for hey guys, 3 heats each flight. So flight A gets 3 heats, flight B gets 3 heats. The top 3 from each heat. That's a beautiful car, isn't it? That number 11 of the CMS Racing Corey Elias. And I gotta be honest, he was probably one of the disappointments, although I got a long list here of disappointments throughout the night tonight, or throughout the whole event, I guess. Yeah, so that's how the heats work. 3 cars transfer from the twin Bs. So you got 6 heats, 3 cars from each, that's 18, and then you got 2 B mains and 3 from each. That makes up your 24 car feature race field, and the top 4 in the A get the last 4 spots for Saturday's feature. So usually we have a B main, which we do on Saturday night, and they take the last 4 spots, but unique here to Knoxville's format, the last 4 saved for, see you later, saved for tonight. It's Hard Knocks night. I love the name Hard Knocks. Yeah, 78 cars checked in, a few heavy hitters, guys like David Gravel, Aaron Reitzel, Brent Marks, a few others. But we got straight into hot laps. It was a bit of a later night, I will say that. But man, there were some huge wrecks in hot laps. We saw that young Gage Polkerbeck. He's only a kid, eh? He's tiny, and man, what happened was his left sideboard got torn off going into turn number 3 down the back straight, and ended up tearing up that car big time. I've never seen a car rip apart like that with the axle. See you later. Get torn out like that. Both rear tires still pumped up. The rear end basically kind of completely intact, but completely separate from the drive line and suspension, which is pretty crazy. There's the 5T there of Ryan Timms. As you can see, we're just kind of walking around here. If we pan back over to turn number 2 here, you can actually see just all the trailers lined up to get out of here. It's logistically, it's just a nightmare for everyone, but that's what they want to do here. They have for a while. Made sure that the big haulers are not inside the infield during race night, but yeah, kind of like I said, logistically it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, so Gage Polkerbeck had a massive crash in hot laps. That took a little while to kind of get that all cleaned up. Then Justin Sanders in the 39M, the Macri car, he had a wreck going into turn number 3, trying to get past a slower car. And Haferteep, I think he crashed down in 1 and 2. So that was another red. So yeah, 3 reds for hot laps was kind of a big deal. We got into time trials again, split field. It was Aaron Reitzel who set the pace earlier, 15.4 second lap. Gravel, he was out late and he managed to end up 4th and did a 15.5. Group 2, Scott Boguski. Now we'll talk a lot about him later on, but he was really impressive in qualifying because he did a 15.5, and that was good enough for I think the top 4 spots. He was faster than even Gravel, so obviously the track didn't go away too much, but he was like almost half a second, at least 4/10s quicker than second place. in his qualifying group, so super impressive early on for Scott Boguski. He's had a lot of speed lately, both in the 360 and 410, but yeah, he definitely started off the night really well. He won, went to gravel. He straight to the lead. He was moving around real quick as expected. He's one of the favourites for the Nationals, but obviously after what's happened over his qualifying night, yeah, he's going to be starting deep in the field. We'll get into where he finished later on. I saw Gravel moving around a lot in the heat race, just trying to feel for I think where he wanted to put the car and where was good, where was bad, and that's what you should do when you're leading a race and you know you've had a few good laps comfortably out in the lead. You're going to start to make a gap. What was it? Reitzel ended up third. He was quick time, so he ended up third in the heat race, so he would have started out of position number 4. Heat 2 went to Parker Price Miller. Heat 3 went to Eliason, who we saw his car just before. Heat 4 went to Wyndham over Bill Baylog and Scott Boguski. So he obviously went from 4th to 3rd in his heat race. Heat 5, Kading won that. McKenna Harsey, although she didn't make it through, she ended up coming from last all the way to 5th. I thought she actually did a stellar job doing that. Heat 6, the final heat race, that was Justin Sanders. He won from pole. Linton Jeffrey, now he was impressive, and I know they were stoked after that heat race. He went from 6th to 2nd. Great drive on the bottom. That was really good, really quite impressive by Linton. The C main, pretty quickly, that went to Skylar Prochaska, I think that's how you say it. Brock Zierfoss, another one of my disappointments for the Nationals so far. To see him in the C main was, yeah, not a good look. Full-time outlaw and just struggled, I guess. B1, that went to Brent Marks, another favourite from last year. He was buried. He won that over Brady Bacon and Shane Golobic from California. B2, that went to Cy Lynch over Zeb Wise, another guy who was impressive last year. And how you going, guys? Over Zeb Wise. Zeb, he was impressive last year, but unfortunately just not his Nationals this year so far. And it was Robbie Price who got the final transfer in B2. Yeah, so pretty fun night so far. You can see there's just a hive of activity kind of happening, but if you want to come check this out next year, or come travel with us to major races, you're gonna want to check out Global Speedway Tours. Here they are. Do you want to attend the world's biggest sprint car races, but don't know how? It's not that easy to organize, especially for your first time. A lot of people waste their time working out when and where to go, booking flights, accommodation, rental cars, tickets, trying not to miss anything. Well, you don't have to do any of that. Instead, let Global Speedway Tours take you on the trip of a lifetime. Whether you're an Aussie wanting to travel to the USA, or an American ready to see more of your own country, or finally make the trip down under, you have to do it with Global Speedway Tours. How do we know? Our very own cameraman, Matt Hollands, felt the same way you did before finally going on the ultimate trip with Pete and the crew from Global Speedway Tours. Since then, he hasn't looked back.
I went on my Global Speedway Tours trip in 2016. Everything was taken care of for me, so didn't have to worry about booking tickets or driving. Everything was all sorted for you, and the camaraderie was great. I definitely would go again. I know some of the people I went on before have actually been repeat customers, so it's definitely something you'd love to go enjoy again. I'd highly recommend Global Speedway Tours to everyone else. It's the best way to travel, best way to experience the best sport. Everything's taken care of. You don't have any worries. Once you get on the plane, everything's taken care of for you. I think if I went on my own, I wouldn't have probably experienced the great things that we did do, particularly meeting people to talk to and exclusive workshops and things and knowing where to go. Definitely going on the tour with him is the best way to go about it.
Stop worrying about the long flights. With different trip options available, you'll go to more races than you could dream of, do plenty of sightseeing, enjoy rare and exclusive experiences, and make lifelong friends. So what are you waiting for? Don't just watch it at home. Be there by booking your spot on an upcoming trip. Go to globalspeedwaytours.com.au today. Alright, yeah, if you want to check any of this out, it doesn't matter if you want to travel to Australia or come over here to the United States. It's a pain in the butt to organise, but Global Speedway Tours will look after you. So definitely get onto them. Go to globalspeedwaytours.com.au. We're just walking on the push-off lane here on the front straight. You can see just over here, we're going to head over here where the cars get teched. Now, the night only finished maybe 40 minutes to an hour ago, so the cars are still getting teched. We might even see our buddy Skip Jackson over there. We'll see if he's probably too busy to chat, but we'll head over there and check out what they're doing anyway. There's Aaron Reitzel walking away. Hey Aaron, do you have time to chat?
No.
Thanks, man. Awesome. There's Aaron Reitzel. He obviously loves to chat. He's pretty good with the media. Yeah, so basically top 4 get the golden ticket to the A main, so that's all you need to do. It's kind of a weird thing where the top 4 is like, you're never happy to finish 4th, but a top 4 here at the Nationals just means so much. But we'll get into the race. Reitzel, who just walked past, he looks really good early on, and he basically just dominated the race, led the whole way. Scott Boguski was holding his own in second for a long time until Gravel, who come from, I forget exactly where he started, but it was a few spots back. He ended up getting by Boguski after getting into 3rd quickly. He got by Scott Boguski and grabbed 2nd. Marks early on was not making any progress. I was surprised. He started, I think, 19th. The 19M car did, and he just was not really making any progress. They're going to want to move this car forward a little bit as they check out the engine. Pretty cool to see some of this stuff actually get done. I know back home in Australia you don't see this unless it's a 1 or 2 of the major races. You don't really see much of it, but every night we've been here at Knoxville they do this sort of stuff. It's pretty cool to see former Australian champion Skip Jackson pretty heavily involved. He only lives up the road now. 3-time World Series winner. I guess that doesn't really mean much anymore, being a World Series winner. Let's get back into the race. There was a yellow for Cy Lynch. I saw Baylog got a flat and Golubic needed his front wing change. At that stage, at that point in time, 4th was anyone's. We saw Brandon Wimmer holding it. Parker Price Miller was coming, and he ended up getting by. With 10 to go, got by Wimmer, and it looked like he was going to get the job done. And then only with a few laps to go, we saw Davey Heskin was just making big progress. He was really moving forward, and in the end it was Heskin who got by Parker Price Miller for that 4th and final golden ticket there. On the bottom, as we spoke to actually Parker Price Miller a bit later on, but first of all, straight after the feature race, we got the reaction from Davey Heskin, and then we caught up with the dejected Parker Price Miller, and we also caught up with Aussie Scott Boguski. Here it is.
I kept getting close, and I looked up at the board going down the back chute, and I saw Parker was in 4th. When I got Parker, and I looked up, and I was like, I think that did it. And I just really tried. I missed it once after I got by him, and I was worried he's going to get back by me. I just really concentrated, grabbing a lot of brake. I don't know, it's pretty cool. You know, you work hard and you have a night like Wednesday where you're just defeated, and then son of a gun, my sister's sitting at home right now at a wedding. I don't know if she's watching right now, but that's pretty funny. All my girls, you know, Kristen took him to the fair tonight, and I think Laners was up there, but I can't say enough about the family and friends I work on this thing. You know, it's just, as Matt says, a bunch of hollyoaks, and I probably butchered that, but that's just pretty cool. You know, there ain't no better feeling than that. Whew.
That sounds right, man.
Yeah, thank you, boss.
Good, how are you?
Thanks a lot. Parker, how you feeling, man?
Pretty bummed. Yeah, 1 spot short. Just wasn't, my motor wasn't really running right from when I was on the bottom. It just like low RPM, it wouldn't clear itself out, and I got by those guys on the bottom, but I just felt like, you know, I got by them because, you know, they weren't really that good on the top, and we were kind of racing around, so your momentum's not high. And I got the 4th. I'm like, I'm just gonna make laps on the top, and you can watch the big screen on the back straightaway, and I told myself if anyone gets close, they're gonna show it. So I just kept watching the big screen and never saw anyone. And I guess they're just watching the battle for lead, and just kind of got stuck by me, and just got around without me knowing. And by that time it was game over. You know, there was only 3 laps left, and it just sucks that you're that close. And our car is really good. Just wish our motor would have ran right. And I feel like I'd have been no problem, and would have just continued making laps on the bottom. But
with your motor not running, you didn't want to hold the bottom? And
yeah, I just, well, like my motor was running right on the top with the high RPM. It just whenever I get to the low end and you know how like really slow down, it just seemed like it wouldn't clear itself out. So it's definitely a a secondary issue with the low speed or something. But I mean, it is what it is. You can't. It's not like NASCAR and you can come in and fix it. So I was stuck with it out there, and it was doing that all race, and it's just unfortunate. Hard to make excuses, but it definitely didn't help us.
And I remember we met about 11 years ago at Eldora off of Turn 3, and I got to be honest, I had no idea who you were. And since then, your name's come up, and you've won races. You've even won qualifying nights at the Classic. We spoke at the Classic was it this past year, and you said, "Hey, the phone hasn't rung. I don't have a ride." I can see that you've really been trying hard to make a name for yourself, especially over here. And it feels like tonight, the way you drove and the speed that you've had for a little while now, you're finally proving a point.
No, yeah, no, I remember that actually. I knew who you were. You'd been racing. I was still over here trying to make it happen, and we took a race car home that year and got to racing. But no, I've I busted my ass and raced as much as I could and as much as I could ever afford. It's never really been enough, and I tried to. It may have hurt me along the way. I tried to fast track the program, turn up here and try and race. It's just, when you can only afford to race 15, 20 times a year, you got to do it where people are watching. But then also at the same time, when you go and do that and you don't perform, they think you're no good. So I really hope that, this has secured, me as actually being able to get the job done. I had an amazing race car, guys that believe in me, and it actually took a few phone calls to Shane to even get in that car. I bugged him for a little bit and just said, "Give me a shot. I'll stand on the gas and we can make it happen." And so, it's a great feeling.
We're back here at Knoxville, and we found a friend. We actually interviewed him earlier, but I forgot to mention it before. Oh, you come over here and chat.
Oh, I got to chat with
you. If you don't know, it's Peter Murphy. Peter, what are you doing here, man?
I'm lost. I was waiting for a ride home and they left me.
Yeah, awesome. You're a great interviewer. Now, you're obviously a promoter for Hanford in California and Skagit up in Washington, but you're here in the middle of America. It's a pretty good way to network with the rest of the industry, isn't it?
It is. It's just a place to learn stuff, and like what we talked about before, just everyone tries the same kind of things here and there, and if they try something new, we can learn from what they've done on whether it was a success or it was failure. So you got to learn.
I'm going to go over our notes here. I've got written down, just to finish up, we go through our standouts and our disappointments. Okay. And then we'll just quick wrap up of the Aussies. Now, who's your standout for tonight?
Obviously, Aaron Reitzel. He's, he just looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up on the top, he just rattles around there. I couldn't see down this end, but he was just, just on a rail. So yeah, he was a standout for me.
What about Scott Boguski? He was pretty impressive.
He's been impressive every night I've seen him.
Yeah.
Very fast. Whatever he's doing right now, he's got his shit together.
What about Heskin on the bottom? For me, obviously I don't spend a lot of time here, but I'm thinking, okay, the top's the place to be, the bottom's the place to be. It's such a weird track, isn't it?
It changes what's quick, the number of cars and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, the night, the way it progresses, whether it comes cooler or gets hotter or whatever. But he is from here and he rolls around here very, very well, and he just showed you that he is good. So it was impressive to see him.
You're impressive.
Oh. Well, I hang out with you, so.
All right.
It's all the ice cream that we eat together, so it's all good.
That's an inside joke. All right, you can go away now. Go away. All right, don't break your camera. All right. See you, man. Message me tomorrow. All right. Let's walk around the track. We might even follow Pete. We'll head back over towards the back straight slowly. Now, disappointments for the night. This might sound a bit pretty critical. Veal, man, he just has not looked comfortable the whole time he's over here. And they have been struggling a little bit, but I think that's them over there. And I'm not just saying that because he doesn't like me, but honestly, he just hasn't looked fast. And he's a guy who started off, I think, 3rd or 4th here in the feature race. There's Gravel's crew just celebrating over there. There's all different bits and pieces around. That must be, is that Veal's right rear? Look at that, there you go. That's one of those Uzias. We've seen a few of them over the last couple of nights. We saw Brad Sweets tear apart into turn number 1, and Veal got a flat in one of the B mains and ended up just coming straight in. No point in fixing it when you're going to be restarting that deep. So yeah, for me, you know, as a guy that can obviously knows how to drive and has started up the front here and won a lot of races, he just hasn't looked comfortable since getting over here in the States. Zeb Wise, another guy that started off towards the front last year. We actually had a GoPro on his car for the last year's Knoxville Nationals, if you want to check out that from the final night in one of our older videos. He started off the front last year in the Saturday's A main, and this year just didn't look, yeah, just hasn't impressed. Another guy, this one might sound a little bit harsh, Lockie McHugh. He's been so good here, and I've been really impressed with what he's been doing, but I think just come Nationals time, it's just been a little bit flat. And I was actually talking to Tanner Holmes on the back straight on the infield throughout the night, and I was saying, man, you know, you can be good here, but you actually need to be great come Nationals time. And I think someone like McHugh and a bunch of others, don't get me wrong, just haven't been as strong. Marks, again, a favourite last year. I actually remember coming here to the Nationals last year thinking he was definitely in the top 3 to win, and for him, he just hasn't been that great. Eliason, another one which we saw earlier, getting his car taken off the track. Yeah, just not great. And another one I mentioned before was Zearfoss. Quick roundup of the Aussies. There were 7 Aussies here tonight. I think there's 9 or 10. That were, yeah, I think 9 Aussie, 10 Aussies, because you got the 2 Madsens and McFadden locked in tomorrow night. The 2 Madsens are locked into the A, and then you got McFadden, who's starting somewhere in that top 10 in the B. So yeah, 10 Aussies here this weekend out of the 105 cars, whatever it was, keeps changing. Quick roundup of the Aussies. Veal time trialled in group number 1. It was 17th quick. In his heat number 2, he went 6th to 4th, so missing the transfer, and he DNF'd in B1, obviously with that torn tyre. Tatnall, time trialled in group 1 as well. He's time 24th. Heat 2, he went 6th to 5th. That's what I've got written here. B1, and he finished 19th, or he scored 19th. McHugh, time 22nd in group number 2. There's Brooke Tatnall's car there, and the number 16 DeWall racing car. He's driven that for a few years now. They're such a fun team too. Again, we did a video with them on the, I think it was the second night, the Thursday night last year. That was a lot of fun, good group. And obviously a guy like Brooke is happy to have a chat. It's really cool to be able to show you guys these pictures. I know this style of video is a little bit different, but it's really just about showing you different parts of what makes the Knoxville Nationals the Knoxville Nationals. Where are we up to? McHugh, heat number 4. I think he ended up 5th. He got passed on the last corner and ended up 5th. And in B2 he ended up 9th, so 6 spots short of transferring through. Hickman, man, he's had a terrible run, especially after the other night. There's Scott Boguski just having a chat there. He seems pretty happy. There's his car, obviously, chatting to some friends. Yeah, back to Hickman. He trialled in group number 2, ended up 17th. Heat number 5, and he did not start heat number 5. His engine sounded terrible. There's a big time problem there for Hickman there. Scott Boguski, that's him talking right there. He had an early draw in time trial group number 2, but again, he was really impressive with a 15.5. Moved forward that 1 spot that he needed to in the heat race into 3rd, and ended up P3 in the A main, so did a fantastic job. 2 more Aussies. Trent Pigden, time trialled group number 2, ended up 29th quick. DNF'd heat number 5, and in B2 ended up 21st, so just not a great run for him here. And Linton Jeffrey, time trialled in group number 2, 18th quick, and went 6th to 2nd in heat number 6. As we spoke about before, and didn't do too bad in the feature race. But that's pretty much us for tonight. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Tomorrow night is championship night here at Knoxville. To pick a winner, I think Shots looked really comfortable. You know, on his first night, especially with guys like Gravel and Reitzel, who had to end up running tonight and having a terrible qualifying night. I think maybe Shots looked better than he did, but at the same time he looked very calm. And then last night with Macedo winning, Larson coming through, Schuhart was pretty decent, although he had engine troubles. And then you got guys like Rico Abreu You know, Spencer Basin was fast. I really feel like, to be honest, it's going to be between Shots and Larson, I must say. So either way, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you haven't already, please check out our merchandise on sprinkerhub.com. We've been selling a bunch over here on the the front straight behind the main grandstand. There's going to be 25,000 people here tomorrow night plus, and we can't wait to meet you all. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed these videos, and we'll see you then.